and welcome to Sport Tonight. I'm Cecilia Omongbe.
Sporty greetings to you wherever you are in the world watching us. In Lagos, I'm Austin Okonakwan.
Yeah, you're back once again. All right, this is what the show looks like tonight. We'll be talking about the Flamingos. They are right now in South Africa, where they will be playing the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup qualifiers against Botswana of South Africa. The first leg, of course, is in that city, in Pretoria.
It's a good one, you know, the Flamingos. No stories with them. We love what they've done. Coach Bankole Oloworekere, we always talk about him. He's a product of the Channel International Kids Cup.
Of course.
He's now doing his thing with the national team. And that's leveled. The Under-17 is very pivotal because that's
that's what you call developmental, not under-20.
Oh, Cecilia, I don't
All right, we're also talking about the NPFL. That's the Nigeria Premier Football League Match Day 28. Yeah. How many games do you have left? 12, right? Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about that. And Shooting Stars, well, earlier today against Katsina, the winless run continues. Is now how many? 6. All right, we'll talk about the NPFL Match Day 28 to get our attention tonight on the show.
That's very important, you know, because we love what we've seen this year with the NPFL. But I cannot wait for when you stop talking about Shooting Stars.
When they start winning. They have 8 in a row.
But I said it yesterday on the show with Katsina United. I knew it was going to be very difficult. I think
90th minute.
Yeah,
so painful.
Yeah. But it is what it is. But let's see what Shooting Stars can do next match day.
And of course, going to be going down on the grassroots level where Uyo, right there in Uyo, a lot of developments actually going on. We'll tell you about what they're doing when it comes to secondary school football.
I love it, you know, and that's the real development, actually. You know, and right here at Channel Sports, we're big with grassroots sports development. And why we want to talk about this tonight, Cecilia, is to let other state FAs know that there's something you can be doing right there with the schools, with the grassroots, with the communities. We've seen it in Bayelsa State with the Prosperity Cup, but the FA is not really involved. But in Akwa Ibom, the state FA, they are saying, look, we want to go to the schools and get those talents. Our info
which is really important. They need to get that, especially with Akwa United floundering in the Premier League. All right. And also, yes, we'll go to the English Premier League. Arteta, Amore, and Pep Guardiola. You'll be listening to all of them on the show tonight. Contrasting fortunes for all of them. Pep Guardiola is finding himself in a particular situation he has never been before. You hear from him the pressure he's facing to finish top 4 Champions League spots. That's what he wants. Wow. And of course, Man United is fighting to avoid relegation. 14th on the log table.
You use the right words, you know, contrasting fortunes, but Manchester United, I don't know what to say about that team and Amorim and all of the ups and downs, but with Pep Guardiola and City, come on, they will make a top 4 finish. I know they will, but for Mikel Arteta and him wanting to do the chase game, let's see how far he can, you know, go with chasing Liverpool, but they really need to start winning, Cecilia.
They need to start winning. All right, that's what we have for you on the show tonight. We'll be digesting all of this on the show. Yes, we've got Damilola Onifade right here in Lagos studio. How you doing?
Yeah, it's good to be here. At least I'm not chasing. The problem with chasing is that the definition of that word means you're always behind.
Yeah.
So you can continue chasing.
No, but Damilola, it's sweet when you chase and then you overtake.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe
when last did you overtake anybody?
We'll see.
I'll continue.
That's a strong one. All right, let's start off with the Flamingos. The girls, of course, they are in South Africa. The game we played in Pretoria, you have 19 players that will be prosecuting that. We'll give you a lowdown of all the girls that will be playing that match against South Africa. You know, when it comes to at this particular stage, Nigeria is really big. Okay, there you have it, details of the game. What are they fighting for? Get a ticket to the Under-17 Women's World Cup in Morocco later this year. Yes, FIFA is trying to do it every year right now because he understands what it means to develop players at this level. South Africa hosting Nigeria, and it's going to be where Lucas Moribe Stadium in Pretoria, South Africa. And the game will be 2 p.m. That's when you have the Flamingos fighting out against the Botswana. First leg.
Important fixture, you know, and we talked about it. When it's Nigeria, South Africa these days, it has to be talent versus investment and attention and doing the right thing. So let's see what talents can do for Nigeria in this fixture. But Damilola, this is under 17.
Yeah.
I always big it up that it's all about development. But when you want to qualify for the World Cup, it's serious business.
There is a bit more at stake than just the talent.
Yeah.
And for the sake of the players, when it comes to under 17, I always wish that we qualify. And the reason is, as a country, we don't have a culture of looking back at those players if we don't qualify. We usually discard that generation. And so the chance that these players have of making it to the big time, or the Super Falcons, is to qualify for this tournament.
Yeah.
And then eyeballs are then on them. You've captured it, Austin. It's just a case of our talent as against the investment of the South Africans.
Yeah.
I think talent for talent will always edge it.
That's it.
But did we do all the other right things that should hit the talent to get to cross that? Hopefully this time, for the sake of the players, I hope we've done what we are supposed to do.
You know, the good thing is that we always qualify for the, when it comes to this particular, World Cup, we always qualify for it. And that's why you've seen the progression over the years. Yeah. You've seen players through the under 17 ranks, under 20, and straight to the Super Falcons. It has not been missing because we'll always qualify. But these ones, they've been preparing for a while now. They've been in Ikene, that's the Remo Stars facilities. That's what they've been using to prepare. You know, before they'll just be in Abuja over there. But right now, they're always in Ikene preparing. And you can see some of the players, actually, when they were in Ikene preparing for these particular fixtures. And hopefully, they can beat South Africa. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And then come here and just, yeah, because the return leg will definitely be at the Remo Star Stadium in Kenya, where they've been training. That's what we just saw before this one. So that game will be March 15th. That's when they will be playing for that one. Hopefully, we will be there to, cheer them up to victory.
I think it's going to be a good game of football. Whatever happens in Pretoria, they will come back, have a look at it. And if you take a look at some of the players, you can tell that these are some of them that Coach Bankole and his team, they've worked with, they know them. And you said it that we always see players grow from this level to the Falconers and then the Super Falcons. And that's proper progression I've seen with women's football. And that's why when people come to me and say, Austin, why is women's football doing better than the men's? I said, because we see the progression. Now, if I go to Damlana and say, tell me the last time we had an under-17 player from the men's team that went all the way to the Super Eagles, you have your hand on your cheek for a long time.
But
if you take a look at even the likes of the Sebastian and Moran, they all started from this and now they are playing.
Flourish.
And then now they're playing with the Super Falcons.
Yeah. All right, Christiane Uzoma from Edo Queens, one of the goalkeepers, Oyechi Okpara, Imo Strikers, and Elizabeth Boniface from Sunshine Queens. So these are the goalkeepers for that.
And the defenders, Anna Ibrahim of Remo Stars ladies. I think I saw the other day.
Yes.
Fantastic player. Jumai Adebayo of Niger, Raytels, Temilade Fafore. Cecilia, help me with that name. Queens. Shavi, Stephanos, and Joss, and then Taiwa, they go care of Remo Stars ladies. Yeah.
Then we go straight to the midfielders. Okay, the midfielders, you have Shakirat Moshood from Bayelsa Queens, Munat Rotimi of Nakamura Academy, Azizat Odutong from FC Robo Queens, and Philomena Ochayan from Nasarawa Maisons. You have Queen Joseph from Foster Academy, and Olamide Olarewaju from Ashat Yusuf Academy. Now, this is a new academy that's just been formed. Former Super Falcons players. So these, they're doing something big, They're investing in the women's game.
I love it. And when you go to the firepower, the forwards, Aishat and Imasha of Remo Stars ladies. Remo Stars ladies bossing things in this region. Chisom Nwachukwu of Rivers Angels, Harmony Chidi of Imo Strikers, Favor Iyeguaram of Abia Angels, and Christiana Sunday of Imo Strikers. So there you have it, 19 Flamingos players for South Africa clash. And Damilola, again, if you take a look at the list, you can tell why we're having progression with women's football in Nigeria. Look at players from the league.
From the league. And that's a testament to how well we've done with the women's league. We come here every week and we always reiterate it, that with the women's league, there is a bit of assurance.
That's right.
We're doing a bit more with the men, so it doesn't look as if we are discrediting them. But we must say that for the NWFL, been a bit more consistent. The calendar seems to be a lot more regular. We could do better in terms of sponsorship, but in terms of organization, I think the NWFL ball has done a good job. We've had even transition, and yet that part of it we've been able to sustain. And that's why, you see, when you get administration right, a lot of little things fix themselves up.
Yeah.
But when administration is wrong, that's when you start doing a lot of catch-up and running around when you're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
And with women football, kudos all the way. It can get better, but we are somewhere.
Yeah,
better than where we used to be a few years ago.
Yeah, and you know, one good thing that is really working for the on the age level is the fact that we have consistency when it comes to coaching. I mean, Lou Carey has been with this team for a long time. You also have the National Amazons coach Christopher Danjuma for the under-20. Right. So that stability is already there. Once you have it, it's easy. All they need to do is to just bring in players, and the only thing they need to do is you open camp on time and then let them play some warm-up games.
That's right.
You don't just bring them a week to the time, put them together, fly over to the country you're playing against. But they had some time together, play some warm-up games, and then, of course, had to go to South Africa.
Another important point, you mentioned Coach Bankole and Coach Christopher. They didn't just even get up and start coaching the national team. They were in the league.
Yeah.
You see, so they were part of the system. They knew the process, and then they grew with it.
Yeah.
Or like when we get to that big stage where it's interim, one coach out. Interim, and then you want progress.
Hey, how many coaches have we had for the Flamingos in the last 1 year?
Tell me about it.
Yeah, 3, right? Okay, yeah, perfect. All right, let's leave the Flamingos, and of course, yes, talk about the league. Aqua United, I don't know if we can just see the full table. I don't know why our producer would never show us the full table. I don't know the reason for that.
He's considering me, you know.
He's considering you, yeah, because at least when the insurance have climbed up, so which is perfect. At least they're in the top 10 when you look at the table.
Yeah.
Okay, now Saturday's fixtures, Austin.
Rivers United will take on Niger Tornadoes. This is a very important game. Rivers United went to Shooting Stars and they played draw, vital points on the road. Niger Tornadoes lost at home to Eimba, and now that will also get us talking. But let's talk about this one that happened today. Katsina United, you talked about it. Painful way to lose it for Shooting Stars.
I mean, 91 plus that extra time. In fact, it was injury time. That was when that goal was scored. I mean, got that goal for Katsina, and of course, Shooting Stars winless run continues. We counted the 8, and we're happy when we're counting it. Now we're having a winless run. We also have to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
We have to.
It was rush of blood to the brain, Damilola, but Shooting Stars, I think they should be proud of their season. What do you think?
They should be proud of their season, but you see, if they don't snap out of this run, they will be disappointed at the end of the season. Because what this run will do is that all the hard work of the first round of the season will be watered down, will be wasted away. I had my fears for this game. I'm really surprised that they had to hold on for that long, because I know that Katsina would be very tough for them. I think their chance was last weekend. They should have gotten the 3 point from Rivers. Unfortunately, they couldn't do that. We can only wish them all the best next weekend when they play the next game. I mean, this one is done. There is nothing they can do about this result, but they can do something about their next remaining games. And I think that's what should be important as far as the NPFL for Shooting Stars is concerned.
John Cecilia, let's see the top 4 table, and despite that winless run, Shooting Stars is still right here, but Remo Stars, what a story. Look at the difference. They are bossing it up there. Someone said to me the other day, just give them the trophy. I said, no, wait. Because Rivers United, they're thinking that they can do something. Maybe they can go on, maybe 5-game unbeaten run, and Shooting Stars, and then Remo Stars maybe drops points. I just like auditing. Shooting Stars is in third, 28 games played, 43 points. That's not so good. But look at this team, Kano
Just see
Pillars.
the draws.
I know. But look at Kano Pillars. But look at Kano Pillars also. And look at even the draws for. That's the point. The draws just. They didn't do good.
7, 6. So that's the difference. And the losses now, Shooting Stars are now on 9.
So they're actually tied with Kano Pillars, and at the time, Kano Pillars, I think when they had 7 losses, Shooting Stars had probably 4 or 5, and now they're tied on 9. So it's tough. It's the NPFL, Cecilia, but top 4. I think if you look at it, maybe you would want to see Ikorodu City here.
You can look at where they are right now.
With what they've done, but. It's not bad. Yeah. They're 6th on the log with 41 points, tied with Enugu Rangers. But they should be proud of their season.
They should. I mean, Benin Insurance also move on to number 9, and Eimba are complete the top 10. Now let's look at the bottom 4. Yes. These teams are struggling to actually get into relegation, because that's what they're doing. I mean, you don't expect a team who understands that this is not working well, and then they're still losing. We can look at the bottom 4. Okay, before we have it, I think I have it right here with me. I have to say this. You have, okay, let's start off with Plateau United. Plateau United, they are on 16.
Okay.
Okay, and how many points do they have after how many games? Just how many? 31. Okay, and then you have Nasarawa United. After 27 games, they are also on 31. Sunshine Stars. Sunshine Stars are on, after 27 matches, number 18, 31 points also. I mean, Plateau, Nasarawa, Sunshine, all on 31 points.
Yeah.
And then you now have Aqua United far behind them, number 19. After 27 matches, guess how many points? Numbers of points and numbers of games, the same.
I know.
Yes, that's for Aqua United.
Yeah.
And of course, Lobby Stars, the king of them all, bottom of the table. 23 points from 27 matches. They won just 5 games this season. 5 out of 27. Where will Lobby Stars go? And of course, Ikorodu will be with them this weekend, precisely tomorrow.
You know,
and they'll be playing in Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium in where? Enugu.
That's the problem. Damilola, I'll get to you, but let's just run through Saturday fixtures. I started saying Rivers United will take on Niger Tornadoes. Both teams, they need to win. Rivers United with the advantage because they went to Ibadan and they picked a vital point on the road. Niger Tornadoes lost at home to Aimba. That was Aimba's second away win of the season. Bendel Insurance, Cecilia, I must say I'm proud of this thing. Don't let it get into your head. They actually did well. They turned it around. They will take on Remo Stars. What can they do? It's very important. I'm sure Rivers United, Shooting Stars, the guys in the top 4, they'll be praying for Bendel Insurance to do something. And then Lobby Stars, I really can't say what happened to this team, Damilola, can you?
I can't. The only excuse I have for them is the instability in terms of where they play their games. When you've played the bulk of your home matches away from home, that means perpetually you've played 27 games away from home. And that can be a disadvantage in the NPFL. Because, again, also look at the implication of traveling every week. Yeah. Well, even for your own games, you are traveling, not to talk of your away games. And that can be, I think that has taken a toll. I think in terms of getting at the back end, the organization right beyond the 90 minutes that I spend on the pitch, I think the management needs to look at themselves again and tell themselves the own truth that we've not done well this season. 5 wins in 27, 27 points, 23 out of 27 is ridiculous for a former champion.
Daniel Amokachi came and
he had to leave. He couldn't help it. I mean, you can't be traveling away from home when you're playing your home games, and then we're playing away games, you're traveling away from home. And I was wondering, Makurdi to Enugu, I think it's not so far, but I think maybe what they should have done, when they started at the beginning of the season, they could have just carried, the whole club to where they're playing their home games and just camp there, so you don't need to travel from, Makurdi down to where you're playing your home games. I feel that's what they could have done. Maybe, I don't know if they'll do it this time around, because NPFL has warned them that, look, since you've decided to choose Enugu, that's where you will stay till the end of the season, no matter what happens, except you're going to the Upper Aku Stadium, which is not ready. I mean, they're still building it, and everything. So I really don't pity them at all.
Same old
they should have planned for the season.
Infrastructure development that I keep telling sports administrators in Nigeria, and that's the problem of Lobby Stars. It's the same problem with Niger Tornadoes and some other teams in the league. Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Let's go on this quick break now. When we come back, we're not done with the NPFL. What's going to happen on Sunday, we'll tell you. Don't go anywhere. Stay.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at Sunday's fixtures coming from the Nigeria Premier Football League match day 28. There you have it. Plateau United will be welcoming Abia Warriors, Kwara United and Kano Pillars. That's one to look forward to because of what happened between them and Sunshine Stars. Remember that 4-2 assist goal thriller on Saturday morning. Nasarawa United and of course Sunshine Stars.
Relegation battle.
It's crazy, looking at it from that angle.
But Nasarawa, they are fighting well, Cecilia.
Yes,
I remember
like Aqua that is not fighting. And the Sunshine Stars also, they are fighting. I mean, they beat Kwara United 4-2. Shows the fighting spirit. That's what they show in Bible. Let's just run through all of them. Then we'll now look at Benin Insurance and Remo Stars, because that game is very crucial. Enyimba will be welcoming Economy Warriors. You have Rangers and Aqua United. Does it look easier? I don't think so. Heartland and Bayelsa United will also be in action on Sunday.
Big games, you know. And I know you want, Damilola, we talked about Benel Insurance, Remo Stars, big game. But this is also a game to look forward to because historically, these two teams, they have a lot of history with league football in Nigeria.
Yeah, a lot of history, particularly in a season where Imba is not doing too well. Elkanemi, I think from the President Federation's Cup last year, Elkanemi seems to have maintained a reasonable level, particularly when you also consider that their coach is the head coach of the Flying Eagles. So he's not been with the team all through yet. It has not really affected their performance. I heard him this week saying that his absence will not even derail, that the target is still to get on the continent, and they are there. I'm not sure they will get it, but they are in a very good position. For Imba 10th, it's I'm trying not to be too hard, but for Imba 10th position in the Nigerian League is probably synonymous to where Man U is in the Premier League, because we expect Imba to be doing much better than they are. But hopefully, the result from last weekend against Niger Tornadoes can be the catalyst to a very good run towards the end of the season, because they are not too far away. They are 10th on the table with 38 points. Rangers in 5th at 41. With a good run, they probably can make it into that top 3 and at least get a continental place at the end of the season.
I agree. You know, Rangers, Aqua United. But for Aqua United's position, Cecilia, this would have actually been...
well, I mean, no title decider, you know, games that you look at where you're fighting for. Maybe you're fighting to get a place on the continent. But that's not to be because of what's currently going on with Aqua United. Rangers are still...
explaining. I don't know what's going on.
And Aqua United are where, I mean, they're just digging and digging and digging. We understand Lobby Stars. You understand it. But Aqua United are playing in the only stadium we have in Nigeria. Yes, we can say that, I mean, authoritatively, because the others are just makeshift. Okay, no, Samuel Ogbemdia Stadium, yes. I mean, that's another beautiful stadium.
No, the stadium in Ikenetu is not bad.
Ikenetu is also good. So you have like, but when it comes to, I mean, big stadium, that alone should actually motivate you to want to play good football. Maybe all the other teams are so comfortable when they go over there, because it was home ground to Rivers, home ground to Enyimba when they were playing on the continent. Just maybe other teams are just so comfortable whenever they come to Aqua United.
They disrupt the charm, and Aqua United is struggling.
It's not sacred at all. Both home or away, they're struggling. But this game is actually vital and it's dicey for them. But you know, the champions, obviously, we don't want to drop points.
You know what Aqua United can believe, and this is not because I follow the club. This team, Rangers, they've shown that they can be slippery at the Cathedral. Shooting Stars when they got 3 points. Kano Pillars when they got 3 points. And I think some smaller teams have gone there and even pushed them all the way. So it's Aqua United that is fighting for survival. If they really want to stay in the league, you must show workings when you play Rangers.
Simple as that. I mean, just get something. Even if you can get 3 points, because it's going to be hard for them. I mean, Fidelis Lechuku will not be smiling. You definitely want to get everything. When you're playing a team that is at the bottom of the table, you just want to compound their woes. But I feel that they can actually dig deep and see what they can actually do to Rangers and get the points from there. See what's going to happen.
I think for Aqua United, it's a case of having 11 finals to play. And it starts from this one. So the more they lose, the more they are far from their goal. So they must start from here. I agree. Rangers have not had a very good defense of the title. They've been very inconsistent. And if there is one team, yes, big in name, but in terms of their performance, this is, that should give you hope that you can get something. This is where it starts from.
We'll see.
That's from there.
Okay,
all right,
Cecilia.
so now let's go grassroots, right, Austin? What's happening in Uyo? Yeah, they need to build.
That's the point, you know, and each time we talk about grassroots sports development, persons don't really understand it because they want to talk about ready-made talent. People want the easiest way out. But in Akwa Ibom State, the state FA, a shout out to Samuel and his team. They've said, look, let's go back to the schools. And Cecilia, the good thing is not just boys. It's boys and girls. And so today they had their second semi-final match at the Uyo Township Stadium. And there were loads of goals. They were tied 2-2, and then they went on to get a winner. Uyo High School came out strong in the second half with a large crowd of... You see, so what they did was, there was proper mobilization. That's what I'm saying. Get the kids out. Let them see. It reminded me of what we used to do with the Channels Kids Cup, you know, pump out some passion. And Damilola, why I liked this one and what they did for this age grade competition in schools, they have said you must be doing well in school also to be part of it, and that's football and education in action.
I think we've said it multiple times here that for us to get it right in terms of grassroots development, we must marry education and sport together. When these kids leave the level of secondary school, then they can decide if they want to pursue education or professional sports. But you must have that foundation for them. And I think it's the way to go. As many state FAs that can tie into this, the better for us. I've also believed that at the national level, at the state level, there is a bit of work that we need to do. We must have an educational curriculum that can accommodate more of this. The truth is, what we have now is difficult to actually run these programs consistently with our educational, the way the structure is. But those that can still work around it, I think we need to encourage as many of them. You see, you can only get positive out of programs like this. You can't get any negative out of it. The worst that will happen is that out of this, you probably have 5 players that will go. But if you don't give this chance, those 5 might waste away. And that's the positive that must propel us to keep doing it.
I totally agree. That's development in action. So Uyo High School defeated State College Ikotepene on penalties. Cecilia, it was 2-2. And look at this, the students. They came out, they were cheering their mates. And then Uyo High School went on to win. What will happen next? They will face Community Comprehensive Secondary School. 4 towns in the boys category final on March the 11th, 2025, and it will happen at 3 p.m. at the Uyo Township Stadium. The final of the girls category will also take place March 12th. So, Cecilia,
we can't wait.
That's equality that we've always talked about. When you do for the boys, do for the girls, do for the men, do for the women. Shout out to Akwa Ibom State FA. So those other state FAs where it's just desk and table and one young secretary to write down names of visitors. It's as simple as this. Go and partner with the schools. And get programs like this out there, Cecilia.
I mean, it should just be something that everyone would definitely be proud of, not just a one-off. It continues as a league. We've seen it in the U.S. I mean, so many
That's all
countries.
They have.
That's
the
what they have.
system.
Collegiate system is working well. I just hope and wish we can imbibe that. And that's, you know, something that the Ministry of Education should do. Partner with the National Sports Commission and see how you can kind of reorganize the curriculum to actually incorporate sports into schools. That alone would definitely help, not just having bits and bits of competitions here and there, and then we are celebrating that. That's not enough at all. We can have league running all year round across the schools. When you have that, you don't even need to collect 90 players to camp and start doing MRI scan, wasting money and everything. Just pick them from different schools, the best talents that play the finals, get them together, and they have you under 17.
I was watching the documentary on how Coach Clemens Vesta went around the country and was picking young talents. The late, the great Coach Stephen Keshi was St. Finbar's College. Now, what happens?
Okay, we'll have to pause it there because if we continue, I mean, it's going to be good. Let's go to England, yes, where things are, you know, well structured. All right, we'll start off with Saturday's fixtures. Nottingham Forest, you know what they did to Liverpool? Yeah, if Manchester remember, they will have to be very, very careful. Manchester United, Manchester City under pressure to get a Champions League spot. Can you believe that? Brighton and Fulham, Crystal Palace and Ipswich Town will also be in action on Saturday.
And on Sunday, there are also games in the Premier League in England. Chelsea will take on Leicester City. There's Liverpool going against Southampton. This team, they are the team to beat. Everyone talking about Liverpool. Brentford will take on Aston Villa.
Bottom first.
That's tough. But stranger
You love auditing, right?
I don't know. Southampton
you don't understand. Maybe Salah will get a card. What do you think? Someone might just get a card. When that happens, Southampton will beat Liverpool and it's going to reduce and Arteta can keep dreaming.
I love auditing, but I'm realistic, particularly with the analysis. At the moment, this team, they're on fire, you know, and they are chasing. They want to win that league title. Southampton, they are struggling. It will be very, very difficult. Hey, they give me auditing.
But look at it from this angle that there is every likelihood that Liverpool will not play their best 11, at least in this game, because of the Champions League. So maybe that might give them an opening. Because Liverpool can be a little bit relaxed.
Yeah,
I mean, they have the point gap.
Cup, right?
They have the point gap to relax a few players. Don't also forget, they also have a final. The EFL Cup as well. So the fixtures are mopping up. And I think that's Southampton's chance in this one. I'm not saying they will do it. I don't even think they will do it.
Really? Why is nobody believing?
No, it's going to be tough, Cecilia. We said Brentford will take on Aston Villa. Aston Villa also very decent team lately. They can actually worry any team. Wolverhampton Wanderers will take on Everton. David Moyes seem to be doing something good with this team. Can they continue particularly? This is also another very tricky team, but let's see what they can do. I mentioned Chelsea, Leicester City. They are sinking.
Please don't go
but
down.
This is also a team that when you expect them to win, Chelsea will just disappoint. So this kind of game can go anywhere.
Yeah.
Do not forget that Leicester City went to White Hart Lane to beat Tottenham. So they will be saying, okay, we're going back to London, we can do something. Tottenham will take on Bournemouth, while Manchester United...
The game for the weekend.
Arsenal.
Yes, that's it.
I know.
Before we digest this game, let's listen to the under pressure Pep Guardiola, right? Yeah. He has never been in this situation before, but he's learning. You need to learn from Arsene Wenger. He was always, right there at the tip.
Different situations. Yeah.
Pressure is always there. In the big clubs, the pressure is always there. You have to press yourself to do your best. It doesn't matter what you are playing for. The previous season, the States never had long weeks, so... yeah, it's a little bit different, but accept the reality. Reality is try to finish the top 4, and tomorrow have an opportunity to stay third in the table and climb and secure this target. Many teams, many clubs fighting for this target. Everyone want to be in the Champions League next season, for the club, for the prestigious, for the sustainability, economically. So, but for many reasons. It's quite simple. When you are third in the table after 8, 10 fixtures, okay. But when you happen with 11 games left, still you are third, is because you have done really, really, really well. Otherwise, you cannot be there for many, many times, many months, doing a good things and being third in the table. So defense really well, really compact, aggressive, and the transitions are really good. The long balls with Woods, if they win 8-10, the fourth up front, they are really good, create many things. Hodgson, Elanga, Gibbs White, exceptional player, Woods, so create many things for themselves. Good keeper, experienced defenders, so I'm an exceptional player, fullback, can play on both sides. So physical team in the middle, Anderson, top player as well, so yeah, that's why you're third. Otherwise, cannot be there before play the last part of the season.
It's Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola. Cecilia, they are fourth on the log. I think City, they have what it takes to win. Mentally, they are not there. But come on, Manchester City should make the top 4.
Yeah, they can. Can they do that?
I think they can. I think that team is finally accepting that they are not going to win the title. So that pressure is off. So they just need to do whatever they have to do and not to drop below the top 4. And I think that team is good enough. 2 things is working against Man City at this time. Mentally, they are not where they used to be. And I also think the bulk of that team do not have the legs for the Premier League anymore at this stage. But the little additions in January seems to have helped them a little. And I think that will just take them over the line. Even if they're going to cross that line with just 1 point from the team in 5th, I think they will do it.
Okay, I mean, you're looking at Man City actually a point behind Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at the table, it's kind of shocking, but hey, stranger things have happened. So they've been ever present in that competition, Champions League, from 2011, 2012 season, lifting the trophy in 2023, still dates. They've never been out of it.
But what we should know is there's more pressure on Nottingham Forest because they are the smaller team. Listen, they've done well, no doubt. And this is a game that on paper, you can give it to Manchester City, but with what we've seen Forest do, particularly with the way they contained Arsenal, at City ground, there's the way they play and they found momentum. And when you are in this sort of position, third on the log, Nottingham Forest, shout out to Nuno and what he has done with this team, but pressure is still on them when you're playing a big team like Manchester City. First, when that bus pulls up into your stadium and you see the sort of money that is coming out of the squad, Cecilia, it's a distraction. But shout out to Nottingham Forest. They've got Ola, Nigerian players, Ola and Taiwo Awoniyi, and that's why we love what they are doing. And Ola, has been a fantastic player, for the Reds. Let's talk about the one on Sunday. That's massive. Super Sunday. Arsenal taking on Manchester United. When you look at Arsenal on second position, if you are looking for Manchester United on the table, you need to get a ladder and then start coming down before you see Arsenal.
No, just climb from the bottom.
But Cecilia and Damilola, football can be funny, particularly when 2 big teams are going against themselves. Let's listen to are the coaches. They're talking about that game. It's a big one. Let's listen to them.
You just have to sell them the idea, these movements that we did sometimes today, we have to work on and to show the image. But in the end, they have to score. If they score one, it's going to be so much easier. So they need to score. He needs to score the first one. For everybody in our club is a really tough moment. Is everything at the same time. The only thing I can do and our players can do is perform well and win. People have the right to protest. I think it's a good thing to do that. It's part of our club. Everybody has a voice. But our job, in my job, is just to improve the team, give them something in this moment because they deserve it and they are amazing. In Premier League, every game is really important. In our moment, we need to win. It's always a problem when we don't win. So we have to focus on everything at the same time. I think the biggest problem is not to have all the players, because in the beginning people talk about our rotation, especially in Europe, and we were changing all the time. Is because of this, because it's really hard. And Europa League is so much harder, in my opinion, than Champions League. Not the games, but the recovery to play Premier League on the weekend. So we have to deal with that. I will not have the time that Arteta have. I feel that. It's a different club. So we just need to survive. The players on Sunday and me during these games. I think it's a different club. I think in that aspect, the way Arteta dealt with that is an inspiration for everybody. I will not have the time like Arteta had.
Yeah, obviously it was a great night for us, an important competition that we have a lot of hope on it, and the manner and the way we did it obviously lifted everybody. That's the past, unfortunately. So it's about what we do today, the preparation for tomorrow, and try to replicate a great performance again on Sunday. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the history of that football club, and then the players that I have, the coach that I have, and watching the game last night against Real Sociedad, you become very clear that they are very capable to put a really strong performance and beat you on the day. So we know that. We know the difficulty of the match, and that's how we prepared.
So there you have it, Mikel Arteta of Arsenal and Amorim of Manchester United. And Damilola Akrostoff laughing. First, good, they did so well with their mind games, gave themselves respect, but I don't know, who is in a more difficult situation? Don't look at Arsenal being second on the log.
In a more difficult situation, I think without any doubt, is Amorim. He came in with a lot of expectation. Okay. And the number of defeat he had suffered is what some people suffered in about 2 seasons. And he has suffered mid-season. I think he's in a more difficult situation. The Arsenal situation, yes. And he's saying that he will not get the time that Arsenal gave Arteta. Somebody should remind him that in Arteta's half-season, he won the FA Cup. Yeah. He's likely not going to win anything, but so he can't get that time.
If there's Europa League, he's still there. I mean, he said they have the chance.
Then unless he wins that, he should not expect that he will get that time at Man U. There is a basis for giving Arteta time. Because when people talk about that time, they forget the fact that Arteta won the FA Cup in his first season. Yeah.
And someone started that run, though.
I agree. Somebody started it. Somebody started it.
But he concluded it, and he didn't bungle it.
When he came in, Man U were still also in all those cup competitions. Yeah. Do you understand? So
he took them out.
He took them. That's the point. He took them
out. Now Manchester United also lifted the FA Cup twice.
I know.
The same Arteta that is in the league.
Yes.
Manchester United have lifted 2 trophies.
No, I'm not disputing that. I'm saying the reason why Arteta have had this.
Okay, I need to sit with you. I mean, because I'm with you here. I need to sit with you because
probably the time that he has not won in about 5 seasons is because under 6 months he won the FA Cup. Okay. If he wants that same time, he should win something this season. He should win. If he can get something on the board, then he can start talking about give me 2-3 years to rebuild this team. Okay. If he cannot do that, I mean, he should not expect that Man U will give him that time. Man U will not have that patience.
Precisely. Now, okay, they are 14th on the log. It took them out of both domestic cups. Yes. The FA Cup and, of course, the Carabao Cup. Yes. It took them out of them. And now the Europa League that they played on Thursday, he played without 11 of his first-team players. They were not there because he had to make do with what he had because of injuries. That's another thing that's not working well for him. And he was asked at, during the press conference, and he was asked, how many players do you expect to be back? You're looking at Harry Maguire, you're looking at Mane Ngate, you're looking at Amad Diallo, you're looking at Kobe Mainoo, you're looking at Lisandro Martinez, Mason Mount, Luke Shaw, all of them are out. And even Johnny Evans that they brought in and everything, he's also out. Tom Hilton, Patrick Dogu is suspended. Now, you look at all these players, so where do you go from here? That's why it's not even looking good for him at all, whether he's under pressure or not. And he talked about the protest. I mean, the United, the 1958 fan group want to protest against the Glazer family, while the game is on. You understand? So the whole situation is really, it's not looking good for him at all. It's not pretty.
We should stop sounding like Amorim met a fantastic Manchester United team. Yes, I understand that he came into the job with a lot of expectations, but that team was already in shambles, And we said it from ETH that, look, and Eric Ten Hag was also saying it, but he couldn't come out and question the commitment of the players. And that's what Amorim is also trying to avoid. But hey, they've got a big game to play on Sunday against Arsenal. And if they want to get out of that position, they must show that they can beat good teams like Arsenal. Yes, I can say Arsenal are a good team because of what they did in the UEFA Champions League. I mean, without a striker, and they gave us 7-1.
And I was asking, have they finished scoring all their goals?
I hope they've not, because Arsenal have a way of surprising you with such a good result. And then in the next game, you're asking, where are the players that played on Wednesday? And I hope that will not happen to this Arsenal. For Amorim, I think it can only hope that this team will turn up the way they turn up against Man City. Because the game against Man City, which they won, many did not even think they will. That's probably the biggest shock for me this season. I think the biggest challenge Man United fans have with Amorim is the fact that it's the number of losses and the fact that he's not adapting. Yeah. Without any doubt, this set of players cannot play the style you want. And as a coach, all you have to do is to stop the bleeding. I mean, you don't have a doctor, you have an emergency, somebody is bleeding and you're insisting this is how you want to do. You must stop the bleeding, otherwise you will lose your patient.
But the players must also learn. There's a new
these players will not learn.
They need to learn.
No, he should adapt as a coach and just get them to a reasonable position till the end of the season, and then you can now start whatever you want to do.
Ruben,
because relegation is real, right?
It's real, of course, it's real.
They're 14th. So you're not saying it's over. If you lose, okay, you have 11 games to go, right?
Yeah.
All right, you have to end the show and go home, right?
It's Manchester United. You'll be fine. Let's go.
Thank you so much for watching. Okay, why will I sign out? I've got a guest here, Damilola. Thank you so much. Austin is the reason. Thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you, Damilola.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Omongbe. Have a good night's rest.
Cecilia, I know you'd like to see me next week, but unfortunately,
you're going to be back from London.
I don't think you'll be seeing me here. That's the show in Lagos. I'm Austin Okonakwan. In everything you do, remember to keep talking sports. Bye for now.